Welcome to Truth with Sweet Tea. I'm your host, Sweet Tea. Now today's story is titled The Kid, the Coat, and the Conspiracy. The story begins with a man named Jacob. And Jacob had 12 sons, but one of his sons was his absolute favorite. His name was Joseph. Jacob loved Joseph so much that he gave him this incredibly beautiful coat made of many different colors. Now, as you can imagine, this made his other sons pretty jealous of Joseph. And of course, Joseph didn't help matters any because he would tell his brothers about his unusual dreams. For example, one day he told his brothers, so we were all out in the field and we're bundling up bundles of grain. And all of a sudden, my bundle of grain stood straight up, and all of your bundles of grain all bowed down to me. Well, his brothers got angry at this. They said, oh, so now we're supposed to bow down to you? No way. And so then he told another dream. He said, I dreamed about the sun and the moon and 11 stars, and they all bowed down to me. Well, this made him furious. And even his father, Jacob, heard this and says, so wait just a minute. So what you're saying is now your mother and I and your brothers, we're all going to bow down to you? Actually, little Joey was a bit of a brat. So sometime later, the older sons were out in the backfield watching their flocks of goat and sheep. And Jacob sent Joseph out to check on them. So when the brothers saw Joseph coming, they said, hey, look, here comes that dreamer. We'll show him something to dream about. Let's just kill him and throw him in a pit. And that's what they planned to do. Now the oldest brother, he said, no, wait just a minute. Let's don't kill him. We don't have to kill him. I mean, he is our little brother. How about we just throw him in the pit? So that's exactly what they did. Little Joseph shows up, they throw him in the pit. And sometime later, Reuben, the oldest, had to go on an errand. And while he was gone, the other brothers were having lunch. While they were eating, this group of merchants came by on their way to Egypt. Now, Judah, one of the brothers, said, hey, I have an idea. We don't have to kill our brother. Why don't we just sell him? So that's exactly what they did. They sold him to these merchants. Now a little later, Reuben comes back and he says, hey, where's the kid? So they told him what they did. So they had to come up with a plan to explain everything to their father. So they killed one of the baby goats and they dipped the coat into the blood of the goat, took it back to their father and gave it to him. Now, he just falls down on his knees and cries out, my baby boy has been killed by wild animals. I'll just grieve till the day I die. Now, meanwhile, Joseph was sold to a man named Potiphar in Egypt. And at first, it was tough for Joseph. But he was so efficient at his job that Potiphar kept raising his status until at some point Joseph was put in charge of the entire household. There was a point where Potiphar had no idea what he had, his possessions, his finances. Basically all he knew was the food that was put in front of him. Joseph took care of everything. So things are going on really well. Well, there was one thing, a big problem, and that was Potiphar's wife. Now the story doesn't tell us her name, so we're going to call her Mrs. P. And basically Mrs. P, she had the hots for little Joey. And she wanted to go to bed with him. So she chased him every chance she got. Every time he would come over to the house to do his duties, she was after him. Now he would resist and say, no, this is a sin against the master and against God. But she was relentless. Till one day, she concocted a plan. While her husband was away, she had all of her servants out of the house, and she waited for Joseph. As he came in through the door, she grabbed him and said, "I want you to go to bed with me." She starts pulling him toward the bedroom. Well, he's resisting, but she's pulling, and she pulled so hard that he wrenched out of his coat and ran away. Well, she was furious, and she looks at the coat in her hands, and she starts screaming to the top of her lungs. So all the servants, they start running in saying, "What's wrong? What's wrong?" And she said, "That servant, that Joseph, he tried to rape me. See, he left his coat, he ran away so fast." And then when her husband got home, Potiphar, she told him the same story. Well, he was absolutely furious. So he had Joseph thrown into prison. Now, that's not the end of this story. So please stay tuned for the next episode. And thank you so much for stopping by. And remember, no matter what, you are always loved. Bye.